Hi everyone, it's Barry here from Mitosu. Thank you for joining me for today, and thank you for joining me for this week's Fun Fold Friday video tutorial. This week I'm going to be using the Shop to Town stamp set right here. I'm going to be recreating Jay's card, which he did last Friday for our Fun Fold Friday, where he used the Curved Occasions stamp set to create this card right here with the coordinating punch to create this pattern on the back. But we have got this pattern, we've got this pop-up in the middle. So this was a card he made last week, but I wanted to recreate it again for you, this time using the Shop to Town stamp set. So if you want to go and have a little look at that one there, check out the last week's video, go and have a little look over on our channel, and you can see how this one was made in the landscape. So, but this week I'm going to be doing it in a portrait version for you. So remember, everything you see us using can be purchased from us. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Austria and Belgium, and you can purchase stuff from us via our online shop. Links can be found down below in the description as well. So have a little look at that. I think I missed Ireland off, so sorry. So if you live in any one of those shopping countries, you can shop with us down below. So again, links to our website and anything else which you may find are all down below in the description. So go and have a little look out at those if you wish to. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with the tutorial. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing it in a portrait version. So you will need to take yourself a bit of cardstock here. So first of all, in centimetres, it is 10.5 centimetres by 28 centimetres, scored in half at 10.5 centimetres. Sorry, not scored in half at 14 centimetres, sorry, for this one. So if you're doing that, so we say that one again, 10.5 by 28 scored in half at 14 gives you your tenfold. And if you're doing this in inches, it will be 4 1/8 of an inch by 11 inches scored in half at 5.5 inches. That gives you your card front. I'm going to be using some designer series paper. So the three pieces I've used for this one here, I'm going to be using the papers from the, let's just make sure I get the names correct on this one. I'm going to be using the DSP from the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper pack. I'm also going to be using some paper here from Winter Meadow, which is this one right here. So really, really nice paper. And I'm also going to be using the Night Sky from the Berry Christmas as well. So we've got two lots from the Berry Christmas and one from there from the Winter Meadow. The first bit for your front needs to be 9.5 centimetres by 13 centimetres, or in inches that will be 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch. That there will be for the front, just for a little bit of interest on the front. For your two inside pieces, you need two pieces measuring 10 centimetres by 12 centimetres, or 3 15/16 by 4 3/4. Sorry, that's a little bit odd in inches, but yes, that's just what that converts to for you in inches. Okay, and then you will need some pieces for your pop-up measurements. Okay, so for your pop-up, you will need a piece here measuring 10 centimetres by 9 centimetres, which is again 3 15/16 by 3.5 inches, and you will need two pieces measuring 0.6 of a or 6 millimeters by 9 centimeters, or that's 1/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. That's those ones there, and I'll go through the scoring parts for you with those in a second. But first things first, for the front, we're just going to simply just stick the front piece down. So that there is just going to be my front. For the insides, what we're going to do is I'm going to stick my Night Sky one on this one here, and I'm going to stick this one down the bottom like this. So it's kind of like this then will then be the back of my card, and this is going to be the base of my card as this stands up. So just make sure that what you created as your front panel now needs to be where you're going to pop your back panel on the inside. So you can go ahead and stick that down, and that there is just going straight up to the top, leaving an equal border at the side here, but I'm going to go flush with the top on that one, and then I will do the same with the bottom part. Alright, so that there is the two pieces. So I've got my front and I've got my two pieces of paper on the inside. What we're going to do is, before I do anything, I'm just going to do some stamping here. So we have got my shop right here. So I'm just going to just stamp the base of my shop first. like so. Now you can either, obviously I haven't got the dies for these, so I am going to be fussy cutting these as well. So you can either do these and you can then stamp this and line this up together like this, okay, or you can stamp them individually like so, and then fussy cut them out as two separate pieces. So that there is entirely up to you how you want to do that one there. I'm going to do the same with my arch. So it was the archway and the archway and a tree which sold me on the stamp set. I do like a Christmas tree, and this is a nice Christmas tree. So we got that there for the arch, and we have got the tree. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to colour these in and then fussy cut them out. Now I have gone ahead and I've got them pre-done a lot of this stuff for you, so you don't have to sit here and watch me colour for ages doing everything. But I will just colour one thing in for you first of all. Obviously for what I've done with the colouring, I used copper clay I've used for the building right here, and I've just gone around with the light and I've kind of just gone round and coloured it all in one colour like that all the way around, and then I've used the dark one and then I've gone through and I've kind of coloured in certain parts of the brick to give it some different detail. So that's how I've gone ahead and I've gone and coloured my brick, and like the same with that one, and gone around. I've coloured the door in red, what a nice Christmassy door, and for the tree and so on I've gone ahead and I coloured these, and for the wreath I've gone ahead and I've gone and coloured these in the old olive, and just gone round because I did use shaded spruce on one and I thought that they were it was a little bit too dark, so I've gone round and I've gone ahead and I've gone and coloured that tree in, leaving some white spaces right here to show off the what would be snow tipped tree. So that there is what we've got. So I've gone ahead and coloured that one in along with the balls in there, and I've got all of my pieces right here. So I've also gone ahead and I've gone and cut or coloured in. Now I did this all in one piece, so it's just one piece and then fussy cut out as one big piece right there. And I've got my wreath, I've got my two trees I've done, I've got myself some people, and I've got myself some presents and a wreath. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and finally cut the second tree. They are relative, it's an easy set to fussy cut out. Okay, which is why there is some dies which coordinate with the house, but nothing else. So if you've got the other stamp set which coordinates with this, then great. If you haven't, it's easy enough to fussy cut out anyway. Okay, there we have it. That there is my Christmas tree cut out, so you can see it was nice and easy to cut. I've also gone ahead and I've used the sentiments on here, so I've gone ahead and I've gone and stamped the Christmas magic is in the air and happy holidays, and I've got those ones there. So the happy holidays I've just kept as a single banner and just cut those ones out, this one. And with the Christmas magic is in the air, I've used the stylish shapes dies, which is these ones. Sorry, it's a bit of a mess, but you can see I've used these ones here to create this banner, and that's what I am going to be using for the front, and I'm going to be using one of the trees for the front as well. So I will grab that one and then I'm just going to pop that down like that, and I will then cut away a little bit of the front because I don't like this little tail sticking out this side here. So I can comfortably go along and cut that part out. I stamped it to the side knowing that I was going to cover up best part of this side anyway, so if need be I can then just cut a little bit more off. So that there is just the front of the card decorated, keeping it really simple for the decoration on the front. Okay, so just move those parts out the way. They will come in a moment. So for the centre part of this, you are going to need to take your your 3 pieces which you had earlier on. So let me just remind you of the measurements on this here. This one here is 10 centimeters by 9 centimeters. On that there is 3 15/16 and by 3.5 inches. And you would need 2 pieces here measuring 6 millimeters by 9 centimeters or 1/4 inch by 3.5. Now you need to score these at 1 inch at a time. So 1, 2 and 3, which will then leave you with a 1/2 inch bit at the end here, and the same thing on the tabs. You're going to go at 1, 2 and 3 and leave you with a little 1/2 inch at the end right there. If you're doing that in centimeters, that'll be 2.5, 5, 7.5. Okay, 2.5, 5, 7.5. That's what you need. So we're just going to then just fold and burnish everything here. I'm just going to manually fold these ones for the moment. Don't need to fold and burnish these ones, they're quite delicate. So just manually do these ones. Okay. So with this one right here, what we want to do is we want to pop some glue on the base part and then butt it up against the fold of the card, and then we'll then pop some glue on this part here, fold it over and then stick it down. It all makes sense in a moment. So first things first, glue on that base part, sticking it to the base of your card. And then we're then just going to then just pop that in against the fold of the card and just push it in and butt it up against. And we'll just wait for that to just set up a little bit. Okay. And then what we can do is we then pop some glue on this tab here. And then we'll just fold the whole thing down. So what we need to do is we need to fold this over. So when it goes up, it will then stick like that. So you fold in the one over, so it's one and the tab, and then stick that down. So then when you open it up, you get yourself, just need to make sure I just leave that just a little bit longer just to set up before I open it. You get yourself like your pop-up mechanism in there. So you can just go ahead and just manipulate and go. Okay, so then it just fits. But that's where you really kind of like want it to be, because that's how it's going to stand up like that. Then what we are going to do, we are then going to stick our house and our tree to the back side. So we're just going to stick that to that one and that one there like that. So there we go, that there is our first part of that pop-up done. Once you're happy that that then has now completely set, what we're going to do is we are going to take the arch and we are going to stick these tabs onto this first. So same thing, this is going to go on to the background here, so the same principle. So we're going to eventually have some glue on the base, and this is going to stick to the tree and the house. But we need to stick so just have a little think about this, we need to put some glue on this part here and stick the arch to this one. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on that one and in like that, and I'm just going to just bring this so that the base of the arch is sitting on the base of the on that little fold, so that when it goes into that one there, it's then going to then be sat and grounded on the base here. So do exactly the same for the other side. So that's your 2 pop-up pits done to your archway, and then we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the first mechanism. We're going to pop some glue on the bottom right here, so you can see why these are being very, very small. Just going to just fold and burnish, actually, just that for a little bit. And then we're going to then position that in place on the bottom like that. Okay, so that's where that arch is going to come out, and then we then need to then just fold that over like that, and that one over again, so the same thing, so it's the 1/2 inch and the inch part folded over. A little bit of glue on that little flap there, not too much glue. A little bit of glue on that one, and then we can then bring that down, and then as we open that, it should he says, first time that hasn't stuck. It's always the way when you're on camera. Let's just make sure that sticks down before I open up. Yeah. The problem I did with the first time is that I lifted it before allowing the glue to set up, and you can see that time there, so it's now pulled that archway up, and then that is like that. So just be a little bit more patient, and then just when you're sticking it down, just make sure it is actually stuck before you then lift it up, because obviously the tension which it brings, it puts on there, it pulls it away from it. So that's the only reason why that did it the first time round. So we've got that, and then we've got that. So that there is our scene has been created. So that's pretty much the whole pop-up. So to decorate this, I am going to grab some presents. We can have some presents lying around outside the tree. Now you can't really use a dimensional, you can't use dimensionals on this, so just bear that in mind. Probably should have stuck these down first, making it just a little bit more complicated for myself. Some trees, some big presents underneath my tree. And those people we're going to have as well, just standing around here. Actually, I'm just going to just remove those presents for the moment, and I'm going to pop the people in there. I may not use the presents. I may just use the presents for the front, actually. So there's my people singing in the middle part like that. And yeah, like that present which I had there can go down like that on the front. Now I haven't used the reef right here. If you want to, you can stick the reef onto that one, but I think that's just going to obstruct the view going through. I haven't been able to get it onto the door because I've got the mechanism, so that would hang perfectly on a door, or you can hang it from a window. But so use that wherever you want, and you can put some more presents if you wish around and about. So just to pop a little sentiment on here, we can either just pop the Happy Holidays on the back, or we can have it hanging out over one of the pieces like this. I quite like it hanging out so it still looks like it's popping from the card. So a little bit of glue on one side like that, and then we'll just stick that down. There, just allow that to set up. And there we have it. Get that straight. Again, Tombow glue allows you just to wiggle, and there we have a lovely card which will sit like that on anyone's mantelpiece. But as soon as I open it up, that there is what they have been greeted with. And I really, really like how that happens. So I love this archway, how this archway pops from that with the people singing in there. And that tree just sells it for me. This lovely night sky. So I did do one initially. I haven't done the front on that one, but I used some different paper on that one, and I used the reverse side of the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper, and I did it this side here with these lovely trees, this kind of like watercolour wash trees in the background. So that one was done with that one. It's actually the same principle, just didn't do the sentiment on that particular one. But that one there, I think, works lovely with that starry sky as well. Beautiful. It would work really well if we had a Santa. We don't actually have one, but if you had a nice little Santa or a moon going across the outside. So you may have remembered from the other day, from a previous video actually, which I have got myself a moon, which I did. So I'm just going to pop that down. Let's see, I knew I created two the other day. Just need something on that background. Just going to do a dimensional on this one. There we go. I think that just adds to that background right there. And there we have it. I'm really happy with that one. Hope you are too. So do go ahead and check out Jay's one if you'd like to see how the original one was done in the landscape orientation. And this is my one here, using the Shop to Town in a portrait orientation. I think that looks stunning, and it stands up nicely as well, so it will sit on anyone's mantelpiece and it will actually stand up, popped up quite nicely. Good. I hope you like what I did with the Designer Series paper down there. Obviously nothing, but my method, my thinking was it looked like ground, it looked like a pathway, so that's why I left that one there. You could always put some other kind of DSP or a sentiment on the bottom if you wish. But there we have it. There is tonight's, sorry about that, there is tonight's Funfold Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back with you again, probably not next week, but keep an eye out on our channel and for when we are live. But yes, have a little look at some other Funfold Fridays. They can also be found over on our channel. But we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later. Take care for now. Bye bye.